I'm pregnant. I'm so excited. I announced on Instagram and TikTok a few weeks ago. This is going to be a Q&A talking about the pregnancy. So let's get into it. First question, how far along are you? I am 19 weeks pregnant, so I'm halfway there. I'm in my 4th month and the baby is due in the middle of May. It has been so fun every week Googling my week of pregnancy and finding out what fruit shape my baby is and reading about all the pregnancy symptoms. It's honestly so exciting. Pregnancy is so cool. The baby gets fully developed within the first couple months. And so now my baby is just getting bigger, and any day now I will feel the movements for the first time, which is so wild. I'm so excited. How did you find out you were pregnant? So this was a planned baby and we got pregnant our first month of trying. I track my ovulation because I do natural family planning, so I knew exactly when ovulation and conception would be, and I was paying attention to my body and I noticed pregnancy symptoms starting a few days after ovulation. So 2 weeks before my positive pregnancy test, I started having nausea, headaches, I would be randomly crying, bloated, exhaustion, dizzy, and then I actually saw the implantation bleeding, which looks way different from a period. And then I tested a few days after that and I got my positive pregnancy test. How did you tell people you were pregnant? So the way I told my husband, we were both home and I took the pregnancy test, we were both in the bathroom, and so we saw it at the same time. I started texting my close friends and family that I was pregnant before my positive pregnancy test, so probably like 5 days after ovulation, I started telling people I was pregnant because I was so certain, because I was having all these pregnancy symptoms. And then once I got my positive pregnancy test, that day was RCIA. I teach RCIA at my church. So my priest was there, so we told him and we told everyone in RCIA. And then that same day, my husband texted his family and friends that we were pregnant. So we told everyone like immediately. I'm really bad at keeping secrets and I was so excited. So that's why we told everyone so soon. And also I knew that if I did have a miscarriage, I wanted the support of everyone in my life. So I wanted everyone to know that I was pregnant. So then I told everyone at all my jobs, and I'm really grateful I did because I was so sick the first trimester, and it was really nice that I could just be straight up and say, I'm in so much pain every moment. I'm so sick, I'm starving, I'm miserable. It was really nice just being able to be honest and not having to hide how sick I was. Do you know the gender? Yes, we're having a girl. We did the blood test to find out early because otherwise you have to wait until about the 20-week mark during the anatomy scan. So we did the blood test, found out we're having a girl, and that was about a month ago. So I'm really excited to have a mini me. I'm gonna dress us in matching outfits. It's just so exciting because I grew up with just a sister. So my entire understanding of childhood is through being a girl. So I'm really excited. But I would have been so happy regardless of the gender because I'm just really, really grateful and happy to be pregnant. How has pregnancy been? For me, the first trimester was brutal and I was shocked. I did not realize how sick you can get in pregnancy. So I had those initial pregnancy symptoms right after ovulation up until the implantation bleeding, but then 2 weeks later I got really sick. I was nauseous every single moment I was awake. I threw up almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I would throw up water. For a while I was just starving, like ravenously hungry and so dehydrated. I had constant stomach pain because I wasn't able to eat. And I also had this debilitating exhaustion, very similar to a severe depression episode. So I had no energy. It was so hard to get out of bed, to take a shower. I showered like once or twice a week for that whole time. I put on makeup 1 time in 3 months. I would wear the same clothes to sleep and then during the day and then the next day. I stopped posting videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok because I had this debilitating exhaustion and I could not work and do all my jobs. I could not function. It was so bad. And then my nausea symptoms were so extreme that I would throw up from just walking into my kitchen and opening my fridge and I couldn't cook because the smells of food were so intense. In pregnancy, just your sense of smell is so heightened. And so I couldn't cook. Like even pouring olive oil into a pan and heating it up, that was like so intense and would make me throw up. I couldn't walk into a grocery store, walk in a restaurant, walk in a coffee shop because the food smells were so intense and made me so sick. So I wasn't able to cook. I couldn't work out because I was so sick. I didn't want to spend time with friends. The only people I talked to were my husband and my dad. And I think I talked to like maybe a few conversations with friends during the first trimester, but I was super isolated and I was so miserable. I remember thinking that I wish I could just sleep through the whole pregnancy and be unconscious and not even be awake, because it was so sad, so sick. It felt like I completely lost myself. And then day 1 of the second trimester, I woke up, barely any nausea, didn't throw up, full of energy, and I deep cleaned my entire house. Whereas before that, I didn't clean for 2 months, didn't do laundry for 2 months because I couldn't. I was kind of mad at the world for a while. I was like, why is this not commonly talked about? How terrible the first trimester is? And I think the reason is because a lot of people don't share that they're pregnant until the second trimester. Whereas for me, I was already telling people I was pregnant. So they're like, how are you, Lizzie? And I'm like, terrible. I'm sick constantly and in constant pain. And so I was talking about it so much. And I'm sure that actually has helped so many people, because now everyone who I talk to about that is like really knowledgeable on pregnancy, because I was not gonna lie to people and be like, yeah, I'm doing great, when I was in constant pain. So I'm very grateful that the second trimester has been a lot better. I only throw up like twice a week. Have you had any pregnancy cravings? No, I have just not wanting to eat because I've been so sick. Like when you're nauseous every single moment, I was scared to eat. And it's been better the past few weeks in second trimester where I'm like no longer scared of food, but I would like procrastinate on eating for hours and hours because I felt less sick when my stomach was empty. And whenever I ate, it made my stomach feel so much worse. So I was just scared of food for a long time. And I did crave ice cream and milkshakes because they were so cold and they like calmed my stomach down. And then once I got to second trimester, I've just been back to like craving vegetables like I normally do. So now I'm back to eating like how I want to eat. Whereas first trimester, I could not eat a lot of healthy food because my body was not processing fiber. Do you have a baby bump? No, I don't. I can tell that there's something there, but even my husband can't really tell what I'm referring to. But I actually have a retroverted uterus, which is 1/5 of women. And it means that right now my baby is growing towards my spine rather than towards my stomach. So at some point my uterus may flip forward, so the baby would flip forward, but that might not happen the whole pregnancy, or it might happen in like a month or 2 months. So I personally think my baby bump might be really small the whole pregnancy. Also, I'm 5'9", so I'm really tall, so the baby has more space. I've seen online a lot of women who are 19 weeks like me have a baby bump that everyone can tell, and I don't. Except when I eat, because I get so bloated every time I eat, so my stomach will get bigger after a meal and then go back down. So it might look like I'm pregnant after I eat, but it's not actually like my uterus or the baby that's making that bump. Have you thought about parenting techniques? Yes, I did so much parenting research. Actually, when I got engaged, I spent like the whole time between like engagement and wedding just like researching parenting. Having children is such a huge part of marriage in Catholicism, so that was my focus more than wedding planning. So I have so many thoughts. We're definitely going to do gentle parenting. So we're never going to yell at our daughter. We're not going to hit her, which includes no spanking ever. I think the most important thing in parenting is for the parents to remain calm, because if the kid is like really upset and mad or sad, what we need to do is help the child feel safe and calm down. And so by being calm all the time and helping our child process her emotions, that's how she's going to learn how to do emotional regulation. So that's the biggest thing, just remaining calm and being peaceful and listening to her and validating her emotions. We're going to do a lot of contact naps, and my love language is physical touch. So if our baby is super clingy and wants like skin to skin constantly, I will relate to that so much because that's how I feel loved too. We're going to have the baby's bassinet in our bedroom for as long as the baby wants to be close to us. And we're going to try cloth diapers to be more environmental. We're also going to thrift a lot of the baby's clothes because I want it to be as environmental as possible. We're going to raise our daughter vegan, but when she gets older and starts making her own money or is like out with friends, we're not gonna like force her to eat vegan, like that's her choice. But like at home, we're going to eat plant-based diet. And instead of going to the zoo, we're gonna take her to animal sanctuaries. We're also not going to do daycare. We might like occasionally get a babysitter, but basically I work from home 90% of the time. So besides social media, which is what I do for work, I also am a campus minister and youth minister, but I only have to be in person for work like 1 hour a day. So I work from home the majority of the time. My husband is a professor, so he has to be on campus sometimes, but he can also work from home a lot of the time. So we are both going to keep working and raise our baby together. And we'll see how that goes. I think because my husband is going to be such an involved father, it's going to not be hard to keep working and take care of the baby because we're both going to be doing childcare equally. So I'm gonna be working and being a mom, and I think it'll be so fun working from home. And I can have like the baby in a carrier while I'm like editing videos. So it'll be really, really sweet. We've also made the decision to not show our daughter online ever. So I'm never gonna post videos or photos of her online. We're not gonna even share her name. I'm not gonna tell stories about her. So we're gonna keep her life very private. And I thought about this a lot because I started YouTube when I was 15. And I've seen a lot of stages of YouTube with family vlogging channels, and now on TikTok and Instagram, a lot of people's like entire page is about their children. And even if it's not, people post so many videos and photos of their children and so many stories. And I'm gonna keep my daughter's life completely private. And when she is a teenager and is in high school, if she wants to start a public social media page, she can, but I'm not going to like control the narrative of who she is. So you guys will never meet my daughter. I'll definitely talk about motherhood sometimes, but I'm not gonna transition my YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok to be like all about being a mom. I'm gonna keep making content about theology, mental illness, my normal content. Have you started building the nursery? We are not doing a nursery just because the baby's gonna sleep in our bedroom for a long time. And right now we have a 3-bedroom, and I have an office, my husband has an office, and then we have our bedroom. So we were thinking like, do we want to like combine offices, or like, because my husband has an office at work, get rid of his office? And no, we both want to have our office. So we're just gonna have the baby things in our bedroom. And the crib that I think we're gonna get, it has wheels on it so you can move it to different parts of the house. And then I think we're gonna get like another set of drawers to put baby things in, and that's it. So we're not doing a nursery. Have you stayed on your bipolar meds during pregnancy? Yes, and I actually have already filmed an entire video talking about bipolar medication in pregnancy. And it's gonna be a really long, thorough video talking about why I chose to do this, because I talked so much in the past about how I would go off my meds in pregnancy. So I basically talked to a few doctors and did more research on it. And I'm very confident in my decision, and be looking out for that video. I've been on Lamictal and Seroquel the entire pregnancy, and there are a few bipolar meds to not be on in pregnancy, but most of them are safe. Thank you for listening to my pregnancy video. I'm so excited to be a mom. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.